Good day. Well, it's like late morning. That time change, man, that messed me up. It's like, I haven't set this clock, but it's 11:40-ish or so here in Youngstown, Ohio. Yeah, I didn't get much done yesterday. I meant to do more yard work. I at least sucked up a majority of the leaves in the front yard. There's still a few to come. My tree's done, well, at least the one, the biggest offender. The neighbor's tree's like probably 97% done, but the neighbor over a little bit, his trees aren't quite done, and he hasn't even begun to pick up leaves in his yard, which means we get enough wind, and wind's normally out of the west going eastward. It's going to blow it in my yard and my next door neighbor's yard. So I'm probably going to have to hit the front yard one more time at least before I call it quits for the year. I'm going to take the mower and mulch the flower beds up, all the stuff that grows every year. Then the leaves I get out of the rest of the yard, I take them out of the bag and I put them down in the flower beds as mulch. Then once I get that done, the rest just go in bags and get thrown out in the garbage and all that. So yeah, my side yard over here, this tree still, most of it's green, unfortunately. And the one behind me, they're kind of color changed. But the one doesn't drop its leaves for a while for some damn reason. Sometimes it's December and they're still up there. January, most of them are still up there. They're slow as hell. So the backyard's still mostly leaves. So I may go out there a little later today and mulch / bag some of them. But I also got a bunch of down branches. I got to whip out the chainsaw and make them into smaller pieces. I may do none of that today. I got the rest of the week, basically, being, partially unemployed. I should have time. It's supposed to be decent weather, so I may do some stuff in here. I got some cleaning to do in here and some kits to work on, some stuff to fulfill, so I might just stay in here. But I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. Well, first of all, went to the Dollar Tree and get some mouthwash and some other things, and I picked up a few Hot Wheels, even though I don't do as many as I used to, and I think I already have this one. I don't know if I have the red version. I know I got the green version. It's right over here out of the box. I got that. Got another purple Passion Merc. Of course, it's not purple. The windows are, but the car isn't. But I may do some kind of customizing with that. And then I got the old, what is this thing? This is the Dairy Delivery from back in the day, but this is the Monster version. 4x4, so I'm might paint this up the appropriate colors and put the decals from my from the shop on it. See, I'll take it. And then I got another square body Silverado. Always love these things. I mean, there's so many editions of them, colors and all that, but they're great for customizing. When I do get back to customizing, hold on a second here. I gotta turn something on here, or else it's going to keep kicking the screensaver on the home page of the television here. And I'm going to shut off and turn it back on and turn around and show you what I'm working on, what else I did this morning. So hold on. All right, I'm back. Picked up another one of these yesterday. These are always popular. I still wish AMT, round 2, if you're listening, come on, price these curbsides a little lower. I realize you went in and gave them clear headlight lenses and new decals, and the body isn't quite the same. You did some retooling, and I realize that, and you got to recoup some of your money. But it'd be nice if these curbsides were just a little lower. I mean, come on. But anyhow, that being said, I got it for another slot car body. And here it is in a really sparkly silver and like a charcoal gray / metallic black. Some of the paint peeled off when I demasked it, so I'm like, that's okay, because I'm going to weather the hell out of it anyhow. But yeah, I gotta grind the bed out of it, and so they could put it on the slot car chassis. And I gotta grind the inner fenders out too, and then I'll glue the hood on, and that'll be it. And then I'll weather the hell out of it. And I gotta get rid of all this stuff on the bottom. But what I do is, I ran to the hardware store this morning too, which is next to the Dollar Tree, and I get these little 6 32nd screws. They're nylon, plastic, whatever you want to call them. And I drill a couple holes. I got this glued together. Now, every kit is different onto how the bed and the cab assemble. Some, see, I added some sheet plastic. You really can't see it, but I added some cut in different, because the bed and the front of the back of the cab, rather, they're not always perfectly flat. There's a contour to them one way or the other, or there's a dip or something. And if you just try to glue them together, they're going to be whopper jawed one way or the other, or they're not even going to touch. This only has minimal touching area where these little pins are, and that's not enough for slot car use because these things get used. We watched a couple of these videos in ultra slow motion, and if you watch, I mean, the bodies flex and pivot just like the real thing, and plus being handled, it would break. So I have this drill bit. I kind of borrowed this from the shop, and what this is great for, most of the time it's hard to, even with a standard drill bit, even if you left the tailgate off, I glue it together, and once it's solid, then I'll carefully drill it. Now, when you drill it, you have to be careful because you might break the glue bond doing that. So I usually, if I can, I'll clamp it the best I can, make sure it's even, make sure it's flush, then I'll drill these holes. Now, what I do a lot of times is on trucks that don't have like this has the core support and front end all glued in. Most of the time, this isn't here. There's a hole in the grill. As you can see, there's a pretty good gap in the firewall. That's going to probably end up gone too. But anyhow, with this long drill bit, I can get in there, as you can see, at an angle like that. I'm not going to hurt nothing. Or if I would have left the tailgate off, I could also go that way. But with the tailgate off, you can go straight through. And once you get your holes, I have to enlarge them a little with a knife. And, I ream them out, or I'll use a drill if I can get in there better. And then I just bolt them. And then I cut the extra bolt off flush. And I also put a little bit of super glue on there, just to keep them from unthreading. So now it's, now it can be played with and used and abused, and it's not going to come apart. So, crazy gluing them is, that's an option if you want to, because you could always leave them loose. I did that years ago on the, like the 66 or 65 C10. I made a friend of mine the fleet side and the step side bed. And I didn't glue them at all. I just glued the spacers in, and then I bolted it. And I drilled them out both the same. And if he wanted to, he could make it a, step side or a fleet side in a matter of, a minute or so, just unthreading these. So, but that's what I was doing. So I ran down a hardware store and I picked up some of these. I think it's like, it was like 50 cents for the bolt and 45 cents for the nut, or something like that a piece. So I got a few of them just so I could do more of these in the future. I always have them. I thought I had more, but I didn't. So yeah, this will get weathered and done up, and I may go try to get some of these other slot car bodies done, and whatever. But that's where I'm at today. Just having fun, and like I said, may or may not do yard work today. I don't know. Depends on what I feel like. Actually waiting for it to warm up a little bit more too outside, because it was like 43 degrees. It's supposed to get up to 57 later, but geez, I don't know what time, because it's still in the 40s out there. Not that it's frigid cold, and I'll be working anyhow, but I prefer it to be a little warmer. I was hoping to see some sunlight today, but so far it's been gloomy all day. But that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm doing. So I just want to make a quick video and touch base with all of you. I hope you're having a good Sunday. Here it is, November 2nd. And that means 8 more days and I'm 61. Wow. My buddy shared a music video with me from the band Biohazard. And don't know if any of you know, but they did a cover of a Black Sabbath song, After Forever. And in the beginning of it, he's Hey, we're dropping respect to the almighty Black Sabbath, you know, Biohazard, 94 MFers. Of course, he says, you know, the whole thing. And that's always been a joke with me and my buddy. Like, whenever we say a year, we always follow up with MFer. And I'm like, Biohazard, that reminds me. And, you know, I told him, I said, you know, 94. I'm like, dude, you realize how long ago that is now? I mean, honestly, 94, it seemed like it was just a few weeks ago we were listening to that, heading up to Cleveland to see Fight, the band, and I'll play with Rob Halford. And we were listening to that Biohazard, you know, cover song. And it was 94 then. You know, it was a brand new album. And I was driving my 93 Dakota. And I look back, I'm like, 94? Oh, come on. It can't be that long ago, is it? I'm like, yeah, 94 is a long time. So, but anyhow, I'm going to mess with that a little bit and probably make some lunch here and work on some other stuff. And I'll probably do something in the yard today because in the morning I got a doctor's appointment and early in the morning, like 8:40. And take the, just some kind of follow-up exam, I guess. And got to take the girlfriend's car to get her tires checked. I think she has she definitely has a leak. I'm just not sure whether it's a nail in the tire or tires or if the rims aren't seating good on the beads. So if they got to pull them and, you know, take that wire brush on the whizzy wheel and re-clean them and reseat them. Because she has this Hyundai and her left front, driver's front, is the fastest. That thing will drop pounds like crazy. This one is dropping them to second to this one. This one's the third fastest, and this one's the fourth. It's almost, you know, very slow, but, you know, every week, you got to put air in them because the light comes on. But this one's like dropping 10 to 15 pounds or so in a day or so. So, like, yeah. So I'm going to have them. I stopped there the other day, but they were too busy. So they said, how was Monday? I said, well, I got a doctor's appointment. They said, well, just stop on your way back from there. Because it's right up the road from where the tire store is. So I'll do that. Hopefully they can fix this. You know, because I know tomorrow morning when I go to pick her car up, the light's going to be on again. It's probably lost, you know, pounds by then. So, yeah, quick doctor's appointment. And, here comes the yawn. And, yeah, do that. Hopefully get her tires fixed. And then I got the rest of the day to do whatever I got to do. But I got to do some house cleaning here too. So I may spend the day in here just house cleaning and arranging stuff and working on this stuff. I haven't decided yet. I'm a kind of fly by the seat of my pants type of guy. I kind of changed my mind, and plus, you know, you never know when squirrel, and I take off that direction or that direction. So, well, I hate it. Everybody, thanks for watching. I'm going to get my butt moving. I'll update you on all these when they're done and show them off before they get sold and shipped. So, like, comment, subscribe. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.